Joining me now to discuss is President of Stromark LLC, Hillary Fordwich. Hillary, thank you for joining the Pulse this evening. What are your thoughts? The Democrat there, she didn't want to hear our Treasury Secretary give any facts alternative to what she was trying to share there. It was because she was a woman. That's what it was all about. Does that shock you that she went there?
Well, actually, David, not at all. And what I would say as a woman, I can speak as a woman, is that it really bothers me, actually, when women revert to whining. It was also like something, for example, women always seem to prove the stereotype of all the worst things about women that men actually do have. Remember the Me Too movement? And then in Hollywood, they all decided to come out in those white gowns. They were all slit down their cleavage, slit up their legs. And I thought, those are so inappropriate, such unladylike dresses. Women always seem to do this to themselves. They shoot themselves in the foot. She actually came across as a whining, vacuous woman without facts. If she had just stuck to the facts and if she had been more erudite, that wouldn't have happened.
No, I don't think it would have. And I don't know that we see this too often from Republican and conservative women. It seems like it's out of the playbook from Democrats. Am I wrong there? Or you share, as a woman, what side of the aisle do you see most women whining and using their identity to try to push back against facts or truths?
Well, put it this way, I've never seen Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem have to resort to such whining and such complaining. No, they stick to the facts. They're strong. They're good. We can all respect them. And I think you only revert to whining, complaining, or actually diverting from the substance when you have no substance. That's what she was proving.
That's exactly what she was proving. And hopefully all the American women around the country, they're seeing the same thing that you are as well. You know, during the hearing, GOP Congressman Lloyd Smucker, he delivered a reality check, reminding Democrats exactly what they're voting against in President Trump's big, beautiful bill. Watch.
I just want to remind our listeners what Democrats are voting for by voting against this bill. They will be voting for a vote against this bill is a vote for the largest tax increase in American history, a tax increase that will affect average households at every tax bracket level. They're voting for a decrease, in fact, a 50% decrease in the child tax credit, which is so important, provides important relief to every American family. They're voting for allowing Medicaid dollars to go to people who are here in the country illegally at the expense of American citizens.
Yes, sir. 1.4 million of them.
Wow. Wow. That's exactly what the Democrats are voting for if they vote against Trump's big, beautiful bill. What are your thoughts?
Well, did you notice there when Scott Bessent jumped in, Schmucker did not take umbrage for that. Why? Because he had good facts and he liked that. So I think that's another, going back, linking the two stories here, that shows that he could handle it. And Caroline Leavitt certainly has always been very articulate. But with regard to the big, beautiful bill, everything he stated was correct. I actually would like to have the opportunity to say, as a legal immigrant, I think it's one of the huge, vast miscalculations that the Democratic Party made. I think they seem to put all immigrants into one basket, illegal, legal. My family never received free housing for 6 months, never received free food for 6 months or $5,000 on a debit card. And we know what it was like to go through the process, to pay for the process, to spend the time, to be devoted and dedicated to becoming an American. And every other immigrant who's legal, like me and my family, we know what we went through. So I think, David, they've shot themselves in the foot with many of those issues that are particularly for the illegals. And every single point he made was correct. Particularly, give me the American taxpayer who says, I would really like to fund illegals to be on Medicare, Medicaid. I don't think that they want to do that. And it's the same with any issue that you see, actually, that the Democrats are taking today, whether it be LA riots or anything else. You ask a taxpayer, do you want to fund this? And they don't. I think one of the saddest things, though, David, are those that actually have misrepresented the bill, Chuck Schumer being one of them, and saying that Republicans are trying to cut Social Security. I think those politicians that have misrepresented what is in the big, beautiful bill should be held accountable.
I think they should be held accountable as well. And let me just say, Hillary, thank you to you and your family for wanting to come to the United States, for doing it legally, doing it the right way, and then being a productive member of society. That is what legal immigration is all about. Hillary Fordwich, thank you so much for joining the Pulse this evening. God
You're
bless
welcome.
you.
I'm an American by choice.